tier 1 of the RPS by authorizing both additional thermal uses of methane as well as wastewater processing. And what the amendments do is simply keep in the wastewater processing and take out the provisions on methane. In addition, wastewater processing, in order to be considered for tier 1 RECs, must be either attached to the Maryland grid or must be processing Maryland resident wastewater.
Move the amendments.
Is there a second?
Second.
Move the bill as amended. Oh, I'm sorry, you have to vote on the amendments. Apologize.
Nope. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Now, Madam Vice Chair, please.
Move the bill as amended. Second.
Discussion? If not, Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Brooks,
Aye.
Delegate Fisher,
No.
Delegate Queen,
Yes.
Delegate Turner,
You're muted.
Delegate Turner, Veronica,
She there?
Not there.
I don't see her.
She's not in the participant list.
all right.
Okay,
we'll
excuse.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Pippi,
Yes.
Delegate Mouts,
Yes.
Delegate Wilson,
Yep.
Delegate Impalaria,
Yes.
Delegate Branch,
Yep.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Walker,
Yep.
Delegate Chi,
Yes.
Delegate Adams,
Yes.
Delegate Arentz,
No.
Delegate Fennell,
Yes.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Howard,
Yes.
Delegate Crosby,
Yes.
Delegate Watson.
Yes.
Motion carries. House Bill 620, is Denise on with us? Denise?
Yes, I'm here.
Yesterday I discussed reaching out to find out, we hadn't heard anything from them quite a while. Did you hear back from them?
We did not.
Did we send any communication to them?
Not to my knowledge.
We need to reach out to the delegation office then, tell them we need to know something. This is on the list for tomorrow. So send Crystal Hippolyte an email saying that we need an answer from the delegation what they are going to do, because we're voting tomorrow, one way or the other.
Will do.
Okay, so that's held.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking
of Prince George's,
yeah,
we weren't sure we had the right amendment on this one.
correct that, but Delegate Lewis said that he is emailing me it, so I'll have it and give it to you as soon as I get to my inbox. Okay.
Okay, presumably tomorrow then for the bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the next one.
664.
House Bill 664 from Delegate Howard establishes the regulatory framework for businesses that engage in sales-based financing transactions. A sales-based financing transaction is a transaction that is repaid over time as a percentage of sales or revenue. There are 4 amendments. The first amendment strikes a 24% APR cap. The second amendment strikes a provision of the bill that makes it a violation of the unfair, abusive, or deceptive trade practice. The third amendment alters how the historical period is determined. The historical period to determine average volume is calculated and makes alterations to a required report. And the fourth amendment specifies that the bills applies to sales-based financing transactions only and not to commercial financing in general, and makes other clarifying and technical changes.
Delegate Howard, would you like to talk to your bill and the amendments?
Sure. Thanks, Mr. Chair. I just remind the committee that the bill as it stands after and if we accept all these amendments is exactly what the opponents and proponents of the bill asked for as far as a regulatory structure. The first 20 pages of the bill were drawn up in conjunction with the Commissioner of Financial Regulations office. And I don't want to belabor the point. Some of the amendments are very much technical in nature. Removing the AG as they wanted the Commissioner of Financial Regulations to be the regular regulator. We did that. Corrects the bill drafting error, making the bill applicable to commercial products. We heard about that. Incorporates 5 service amendments. That's DePietro's amendments and Kim Ford's amendments that are technical and friendly. We did that. The last amendment is probably the one that we should talk about, maybe focus on, and that's the rate cap of 24%. I don't want to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. I guess that's how that saying goes. The small business and industries need some type of regulatory structure for this product like yesterday. But I wanted to bring it before the committee, that amendment specifically, to talk about the rate cap a little bit. I do think that there should be some type of rate cap. I do think that 24% is appropriate, but I wanted to put it before the committee for discussion. So outside of, I guess this is really the only area of contention that the opponents of the bill would have. And I wanted that, they of course don't want a rate cap. And we heard testimony that some of these rates are extremely high, especially when the loans are paid back quickly. Some of those rates can be in the hundreds of percent. I don't think that's fair. And but I just wanted to put it out to the committee for the debate.
Delegate Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, I mean, I don't know if I have any questions, but I'll just kind of lay out, some of the concerns about the cap. Is the cap still in the bill?
It is, but we're, I have an amendment drawn up to strike the cap, and that's what I would like to talk about. Strike the cap or not? Should we leave the bill in place with a 24% APR cap, or should we strike the cap? That's
so. Yeah, so here's I guess my thought on this. The way that they do the sales-based financing, rates are very high when you think about it through the lens of they don't have to make the payments back until their sales improve. So seasonal businesses like in January, February, Ocean City businesses don't have sales. And so the reason why the rate is what it is because this is an adjustable and or flexible repayment plan. In the months of May and June, they make these loans paid off in a couple of weeks. So the APR is not the same conversation as, say, you have a credit card or a formal loan with a bank. And I know that that's important to the lenders that offer this sort of product. And it's also, Delegate Howard, just think of it through the lens of the businesses that use this type of financing. They're not going to traditional banks. They might not be able to get a line of credit. And so this is a formal way to borrow money that helps them pay their expenses over, seasonal periods of time. And I'm worried that we would lose this product if we put caps on it, because in essence, it would negate the product.
And that's my concern too, Delegate Adams. That's why I want to put it out there for the general discussion of the body. I'm happy with a 90% victory. I mean, like I said, as far as the regulatory structure, these are things that were agreed upon by the industry. We've heard the bill for 2 years now from the very outset of the bill. Things like basically a truth in lending, those type of things. no confessions of judgment, those type of things. The legislation as a whole, even without the caps, would put those that regulatory structure in place that was essentially requested at the bill hearing on 2 different occasions by the industry.
Delegate Charkoudian, then Delegate Queen.
Well, Mr. Chair, I was actually just trying to find a reprint with all the amendments. Is there a reprint? I see several different documents with amendments. I'm having trouble tracking what the bill sort of
No,
does.
so there are 4 separate amendments. There isn't one document with all of them in there. There were 4 separate ones.
Okay, but they're not as a reprint so that we can, I'm just looking at the bill.
And the amendments are largely technical, Delegate. The amendments are largely technical in nature,
Okay.
except for the one that we're pretty much discussing now, which is the whether or not, to me, I mean, listen, this is the committee's bill.
I'm good. I'm good, Delegate Howard. I just was wondering if I'm missing something because I'm just going through stuff and trying to find it. Thank you.
No, I really wanted to bring each amendment to the body's attention, discuss it. And really, I mean, at the end of the day, removing the AG, I submitted that amendment because that's what the AG wanted. Correcting the bill drafting error, it was a simple error. And incorporating Chris DePietro's 5 service amendments, and it says that they're largely technical in nature. The big one really is the APR.
Then we go to Delegate Queen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I guess my question is, my understanding this bill initially, and as you mentioned, we've been trying to, talk through it for the last 2 years, is to provide some protection for this product that, again, certain business owners want it, but it can be considered a little dangerous. So some of the rules we were putting in to do an APR and things were to help educate people who may not be very financially savvy. I'm worried that we're taking the AG out, and why did the AG want to come out? How do you have a consumer protection bill without the AG involved?
Because the commercial, the Commissioner of Financial Regulations Office.
And they're going to come in and if there's some problem, handle that? Is that intent?
It's my understanding that's correct, yeah.
Okay, I just have, I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm not sure we're ready for it this year. I don't feel comfortable with it, but that's.
Really, Queen, if I can just say this, I may agree with you as far as the discussion on the APR. But I think as far as transparency, and I think as far as setting up a regulatory structure, I mean, we put into place exactly what the proponents and opponents of the bill asked for. So that's where I would split in disagreement and start to disagree with you a little bit there, where as far as APR is concerned, I understand some of their concerns about the way the loans are structured, how they look higher on the front end versus on the back end. I get those concerns. I get it. And I think that I don't want to hold the bill, snatch the bill from the jaws of victory here. I will take a 90% victory on this, because right now I do think the overarching premise is to set up a regulatory structure as far as licensing and those type of things. And without the APR amendment, the rest of these other 3 amendments, which are largely technical in nature, and the bill set up that structure. And that, quite frankly, I do feel like after 2 years of deliberation and testimony, we are ready for.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate Adams.
I'm not seeing the amendments, and I'm engaged on this particular issue, and I want to be supportive of my colleague, but I mean, I think it would be good due diligence for me to see the amendments. And
I would check your email. I think they were emailed.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. I understand. Have the opponents looked the amendments, Seth?
Yeah, as far as I know, yes. I mean, and again, the one that they don't like, the one, I'm not saying that we're not talking about all the amendments, but the other three are so minuscule in my mind that the one that I feel like we're talking about is the one that the opponents didn't like, which is the APR. And as far as I know, that they have seen that.
Yeah, but have you gotten their support, is what I mean to say.
Oh, I mean, they don't like it. I mean, of course, they don't on the interest rate, just based on the way the bill's structured, way the payment comes back structured. It's going to be 200%, 300%, 400% if it's paid back faster.
Let me hear from Johnny and then Madam Vice Chair.
Oh, thanks, Chairman. Just, hey, Delegate Howard, just two quick questions. Is there a cap on the amount you can borrow after the amendments? And is there a cap on the APR still in the bill?
Not as far as I know. The cap on the APR is the amendment. And as far as amount that, no.
Okay, so what is the amendment dealing with the APR again? I apologize.
Whether we're going to put in a 24% cap for an annual percentage rate on this product.
Right. Okay.
Tell you what, guys, because
the
I
other
know.
90%.
Go ahead.
The other 90% of the bill is just the regulatory structure that the proponents and the opponents asked for, and that was drawn up with the first 20 pages of the bill with the Commissioner of Financial Regulations.
All right. Madam Vice Chair.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
I'm trying to get off. There we go. Amendments are fine, and I'm happy moving the amendments to move the discussion forward. But I will tell you that I'm not, when you say that the opponents are okay with the bill, like the amendments, is it they can tolerate the bill with the amendments? They are 100 or at least 80% in favor of the bill. I mean, I guess what I don't remember hearing at the hearing was sort of what, I understand what the problem is, you're going to do regulations, but I didn't hear horror stories. So like, is there a reason we have to regulate this, or is it operating and under actually normal consumer protection?
No, there's no licensing structure. There's no registration structure for these entities. That was in the very first bill hearing.
All right, well, I would move the amendments, and I would move, including the amendment about the cap, so that at least we can move the discussion forward.
Are we separating each of these amendments out? Because I feel like the APR amendment is substantive.
All right, how about I move the first three amendments? And then, although again, move the first three. Okay.
Second.
All in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay.
All right.
The first three were adopted. Now let's go on amendment number 4.
All right, and I'm happy to move that amendment, and then you can discuss it. The only way I would vote for the bill is to get rid of the APR. So I move that amendment.
And again, I want that discussion to be up to the body. This is a regulatory structure.
Okay.
Without this amendment, it's just a regulatory structure. And it's something that, even without this amendment, it's something that the business community and this state needs relatively quick.
Okay. All right, well, I move the amendment.
Second. Delegate Imperia, second.
All right. Moved and seconded. Delegate Mounts. Does anybody wish to speak on it? I think some hands are just left up from before, but if not,
yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I mean, I'm reluctant to hold the bill because I don't want to call it, that's a colleague of mine. I really don't necessarily want to do that, but could committee describe the bill to me as amended, so I know what it is we're voting on? I'm having to do this without the opponents, validating whether they're on board or not. But how about if I just hear what the bill does now?
Okay, so as amended, The bill establishes the regulatory framework for businesses that engage in sales-based financing transactions. So what that means is it establishes the licensing structure. So, basically what they have to do to get a license, how they have to act, what they can and what they cannot do. With the amendment, there will be no APR cap on these products. It will no longer be a violation of or a unfair, abusive, or deceptive trade practice to violate. And let me add right here that this was taken out because usually that's for business to consumer, not business to business. And this is business to business. So that's why the AG was taken out there. And again, I mean, like Delegate Howard said, the majority of it is clarifying and technical changes. So the big two things are the APR cap and then taking unfair, abusive, and deceptive trade practice out.
All right, well, with all due respect, Delegate Howard, because I do know that you've worked hard on this, I'm just not ready yet, so I would move unfavorable. Certainly, the committee can vote differently.
But we didn't move the amendment yet.
I'm so sorry. I thought the 24, I thought we did.
Yeah, now, but all right.
We moved it favorable, but we haven't voted on it. We have not voted.
I'm sorry.
That's
Okay.
all right.
All right, on that amendment, does anyone still want to talk on it, or are they ready to vote on the Fourth Amendment? Anyone?
I mean, I'll vote yes on the amendment. Yeah.
All right. All in favor signify by aye.
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 All those opposed, motion carries 2-0.
No, I'm opposed. Make sure I'm recorded
All
as
right,
opposed.
2-1.
I'm opposed too, just to make it even.
Well, motion's already carried now. Is there a motion on the bill as amended?
Move favorable.
Second.
All right, it's moved and seconded for favorable. Madam Vice Chair,
No.
Delegate Brooks,
No.
Delegate Fisher,
He's gonna kill me, but no.
Delegate Queen,
No.
Delegate Turner,
She's muted.
are you there?
No.
Delegate Rogers,
No.
Delegate Carey,
No.
Delegate Jackson,
No.
Delegate Pippy,
Respectfully, no.
Delegate Mouts,
I'll go no too.
Delegate Wilson,
No.
Delegate Impalaria,
Yes.
Delegate Branch,
No.
Delegate Valderrama,
Respectfully, no.
Delegate Walker,
I'm rolling with the honey badger. Delegate Fisher, I'm no.
Delegate Chi,
No.
Delegate Adams,
No.
Delegate Arentz,
I'll go yes.
Delegate Fennell,
Respectfully, no.
Delegate Charkoudian,
No.
Delegate Howard,
Yes.
Delegate Crosby,
No.
and Delegate Watson.
No.
Damn.
That's close. It's close.
Got it out. The Republican caucus is meeting now, so don't throw away your list. This will be the list for tomorrow, and we'll probably have some additional ones added. But we'll just add that, but we're not going to trash this, so hold on to it. Yeah, hold on to it. Guys, go get to caucus. I don't want to get in trouble for holding you all past that, and I'll see the rest of you on the floor.